What's the schedule now? I mean, what do you want? What do you want to get accomplished between now and heading to Des Moines?
You know, one of the things that you really focus on when at the end of the year is you focus on the week that you have to train. So really, this isn't about national championships. It's about getting a little bit better. Each day we have to work out and train. You got a chance to get better, and it's real important as we go through this week. That's our focus. Is hey, I can be better than what I was this past weekend, and I need to utilize these days for training and make sure that I get everything in order.
You told us Saturday night you got an optimistic first report on Chris. Oddly enough, when we were talking to Z after his win, and we asked him what was important the rest of the way, he said health. You want to stay healthy, stay away from illness, injuries. So obviously, Chris is a concern. Is it still as optimistic as you thought Saturday?
Yeah, he's good. He bounced back fine. I mean, he's obviously next couple of days will take some caution on what we do in practice. But he's already told me he wants to get on the mat today and train. So as long as my trainer okays it, that's what we'll do.
What do you think is different about this team, the whole team aspect, compared to some last teams that came up short in the national duels, and what gives you some confidence that they could, get that team title?
Well, I think one of the things you got to remember about this group, I think they came out 6th or 7th in the country, and we've the one thing we have good chemistry. We have some leadership, and we got some guys that are taking care of each other. Eddie Kilmara winning the Big 12 championship and wrestling 6 matches this weekend and winning all 6. I mean, a lot of that was his teammates and people that putting a little extra effort into him, not just for themselves, but for some of their guys on our team that maybe needed a little dose of reality and a little pat on the back from their teammates. So, it seems like we've struggled a little bit in the past with that, but with Chris Perry, Caldwell, Oliver, we got some good leadership, which creates good chemistry. So this team's overperformed, there ain't any question.
You mentioned Chris being one of those guys who really helped Eddie. How have you seen him evolve as a leader in this program?
Well, I think academically, he's a guy that we don't worry about. He takes care of business in school. He's at practice 30 minutes before practice starts. He's up there napping now. He's not running in here 2 minutes before practice. He's normally staying after practice doing something extra. All those type of things not only prepares yourself, but also people take notice of it, and your staff can't do that. Athletes have to do that.
You talked about bonus points first thing in the news conference Saturday. With 9 wrestlers in the NCAAs, bonus points can kind of make up for the fact you've got one empty weight and can go a long way toward that team total.
Well, that's the only way to win. I mean, you got to have bonus points. What we're talking about bonus points is major decisions, tech falls, pins. A pin's worth 2 points. You can literally win 4 matches in the consolations by decision, and that equals to 2 points. So one pin is powerful. And scoring of our 20 matches at the Big 12 championship, 12 of them were scored with bonus. So we need something similar. We're probably not going to get that much because we're getting ready to wrestle the best. Only the best get to go to the NCAA championships. So, but we need our share of bonus points, and we were in position to be able to capitalize on some of those bonus points.
Obviously for Jordan this year, there's a lot of personal redemption with what happened in the finals last year. Does he ever bring that up? Do you ever hear him talking about that? Is that something he talks about?
I think when you end your season on a sour note, you leave it there. He's never brought it up to me. So it's just kind of takes a little bite out of your heart, and you don't want to revisit it too much. I think it's something that's kind of giving him a chance to rejuvenate and have some purpose this season. And him moving up 2 weights was a good move for us. It's been comfortable for him, and he just needs to focus on what he does well, and outcome would be probably what we want.
You know, if anything, he told us that it even fuels him when he thinks about it, just watching, you know, old videos, stuff like that. Do you think, you know, for a guy in his senior year, that's got to be nice just for even more push for him to, you know, try to get that title?
I think so. You know, it's motivating, and it's definitely something that, you know, leaves a mark on you, and the only way to kind of help erase that mark is by, you know, having that opportunity of doing it again, you know, and we're fortunate that he had another year to be able to maybe erase it.
When I spoke to you earlier in the season, when you first got that #1 ranking, you said that this squad had surprised you over the season, pleasantly surprised, obviously. Would you say that it is continuing to surprise you as you progress?
Yeah, it's been a squad that, you know, I've had, you know, my 20th year. You know, this team has performed, you know, past my expectations. You know, and of course you got to have those standards within your program to reach those pinnacle times. And I will say that, again, I go back to the few guys I have on my team that really showing some outstanding leadership, doing something outside themselves. You know, wanting to see your teammates win, wanting to kind of carry them along. Those are the things that builds championship teams. And you know, we're still a ways away from that. I mean, we'll see probably the rankings in the next couple of days, and you're going to see that we're probably several points out of winning the championship. But you know, this team is, again, it surprised me. So let's see what happens.
Speaking of surprises, you gave an interesting answer on Chianuma on Saturday night. He was in La La Land on Friday, and you didn't know where he was at. But when his mind is right, he's got to be a huge surprise. I mean, the guy transferred from Lindenwood, comes in here, and if somebody told you he was going to win the Big 12, what would you have thought?
Well, you know, yeah, that's a good question. I would have probably said, you know, he's a ways from that. But I think what's interesting, he's a small guy. He's got to use his speed, and he's starting to capitalize on that a little bit. And again, he's not going to be projected to even be an All-American when we go to the national tournament. I mean, he won't be a top 8 seed, and top 8 obviously are All-Americans. But you know, I think, you know, getting through a Big 12, beating somebody that pretty soundly beat you last time in the finals, you know, you need to grow from that and recognize that, you know, I do have this opportunity, and if he competes, he can do anything.
We talked about it back in the summer. J.O. was already a talented wrestler, but how big of an opportunity and experience-wise was that for him, getting to go with Coleman over to the Olympics and having Coleman still kind of working with him in the weight room?
Well, I think anytime you get an opportunity to go see the best wrestlers in the world and you get to train around them, which he did throughout the summer, you grow pretty quickly. You know, not everybody has done that. You know, I mean, there's been several guys go over and have an opportunity and come back and never produce. I think for him, though, it's just a little bit closer reality that I'm not that far away from being one of the best wrestlers in the world. I'm going through a collegiate season that I'm wrestling guys from the age of 18 to 22 years old. I think you look at it as easy. You know, we all know it's not easy, but in some ways he expects to run through people right now in college, you know, and he knows that it gets a lot tougher, and the NCAA Championships is a much greater task. So he understands. One thing about Jordan, he's a smart guy, and he understands what it takes to win.
His choice in wrestling shoe kind of tells you where he wants to go. Wears those red, white, and blue Adidas.
Well, he wears that, and he wears a couple of different ones, but yeah, I mean, I think obviously, you know, that's a whole nother level that he can't be pushing too fast. You know, he's going to find out that's like going from, you know, high school to college. It's a bigger gap when we talk about wrestling the best people in the world. You know, it's not the best people in the state of Alabama or the state of California. You know, you're talking about the world. So let's take it one step at a time, make sure that he gives himself a chance to win that NCAA championship.
Who's one guy on this roster that you think could surprise some people? Maybe that's one guy who's not going to talk about a lot, who, you know, has a legitimate chance to, you think, to win a title or at least get very close.
Well, you know, winning a title, you're not going to have 9 guys winning titles. Right. You know, I mean, for your team to do well, you know, the bottom line is you're going to have to come back through the consolations. You know, it'd be great if we could push everybody to the finals, but that's not going to happen. It's not even close. So it's about people coming back to the consolations and having the willpower to step up and put points on the board and score points. You know, you're losing the consolations, you stop scoring team points. Who do I think? I think you look at a kid like, you know, Daring or Kilmar. You know, it could be any of them. You know, I mean, there's not just one individual. I just know that I need several of them to get hot.
Right.
That's how you win. You know, I don't need one of them to get hot. We need some guys that you know, we got guys not projected to be All-Americans that need to be All-Americans.